What's going on, guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting, and welcome to this new video. Today we're talking about the Olight M2T Warrior tactical flashlight. Now this is an iteration on their very popular M2R Warrior that came out, I want to say like fall of last year, and people really loved it. So Olight hit me up, asked if I wanted to take a look at this thing, and of course I did, and you know, it's a pretty cool light. Now, where is it, you ask? It's in the concealed sleeve of my Give Rise hoodie. That was bad. That was a shameless plug. But that's how stoked I am on these hoodies. I'm really proud of them. Give Rise hoodies went on sale like, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they've been flying off the shelf. People have been really stoked on them. Every single email I've got in terms of feedback has been extremely positive. It's comfy, it's warm, the fit's on point, fabric's on point, all that stuff. So if you want to pick one up, link is in the video description below. There's probably some sort of a card that pops up as well. It's glsgear.com. Anyways, let's get into what we're talking about today, which is the Olight M2T flashlight. So as you can see, it's a very similar form factor to what you're used to with that M2R, but you know, it looks pretty dang sleek. I really do like the look of it. Olight, I like the look of most Olight lights though. They're always sleek, they're always modern, and they always look great. So I like that blue accent on there. In terms of features, we've got a removable clip here. You know, it can clip this way, you can clip it upside down. The idea with that, I guess, is if you want to go with like a, you know, like a headlamp. I don't know how it would work, but in a pinch, you know, it'll do. It'll do in a pinch. It's kind of heavy and you can see it and it's flying everywhere, but if you need to, that's there. I kind of like that. It does have a little spot for, you know, if you want to hook it up to a lanyard as well. There are two switches on this thing. There's a tail switch here, which is nice, big, rubbery, easy to hit, easy to see. And then you also have a smaller side switch. Up on the front here, you know, we're not getting too tactical, too aggressive with the bezel. It's got a little bit of kind of like some serrations, I guess, but I certainly wouldn't call it aggressive by any means. The body does have a little bit of extra texture here. To be honest, I think it's a little more for looks than for actual, you know, like actual stippling. You know, if your hands are really sweaty like mine, I don't think this is going to help you hold on to the light any better, but it does look nice. Now, this thing functions on two CR123s like I've got here, or one 18650. Now, keep in mind, if you're going with the 18650, you're going to get the full 1200 lumens out of this thing in turbo mode, which is pretty impressive. With the two CR123s, you are at 900 lumens in that turbo mode. So in terms of functionality, this side switch here, which just kind of acts as your on-off primary switch, if you hit that once, it's going to turn the light on. If I hold that down, it's going to cycle through the different modes of brightness. Now, if I triple tap that, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to get a strobe, and I can flip that off. I believe that strobe is in the turbo mode, which is the full 900 or 1200 lumens. And that big tail switch there does have 3 modes, so I can half press it for like a momentary on straight to turbo mode. If I let go, it goes off. If I want to keep it on turbo mode, I can press it all the way in and let go. And then if I want to go to strobe, I can press it in and hold it. Now that's momentary. As soon as I let go, it's gone. So in terms of runtime here, at the CR123s, this thing is claiming at turbo mode, by the way, which is the 900 lumens, this is claiming 3 plus 85 minutes. I don't know what that means, if that's 3 hours plus 85 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. What? And then with the 18650, it's claiming 3 plus 130 minutes. I have no idea what that means. I looked this up online, did a little research, and I want to say the runtimes were something like an hour and a half with CR123s and like 2.5, 3 hours with 18650. I'm going to go off, and that was from Olight's website, so I'm going to go with that. I'll link Olight's website, so if you want to know the exact specifications, you can find them there. This thing also says it is IPX8 rated for water resistance. It can withstand 1.5 meter falls. It's almost the size of like a dry erase marker. Think about that. Weight-wise, without battery, you're at 3.5 ounces. And it does honestly feel a little bit heavier than some other lights. Look at that. This thing does come with a lanyard here. As I mentioned, it has a little hole for a lanyard. That's nice that it includes that. They also have this little holster. If you want to throw this on a belt or whatever, you're out camping, you want to throw it on a duty belt, you know, it's there. So it's a decent holster. It's, you know, it's nothing special. It's got a simple little Velcro belt loop back here. Yeah, it is what it is. It's what you'd expect out of a flashlight holster. Okay, so there's all the sort of factual information about this. There's the features of it, how it works, the specs and stuff like that. Now let's get into a little bit of my personal opinion about this light. Now, I've had an awful lot of lights in my time, and you can tell that this thing is well built. You can tell that it's going to last. You can tell that it's it's a good light. There's no denying that. But personally, there's a couple things that I don't love about it. First of all is I don't love how there is not a direct to strobe option. Yes, I can push this tiny little button 3 times to get to strobe, but if I'm in a critical situation, there's no chance that I'm going to be able to do that. That's a tiny button. I would not have the dexterity or the focus to be able to do that, straight up. This back button, on the other hand, is big. It is textured. I like it. I would be able to hit that, I feel. That being said, I'm holding this down and then it's working. As soon as I let go, it's gone. That's not, I wish there was a direct to strobe button on the side that I could just push, strobe on, I can let go. If my thumb slips, if my hand has to do something else, it is strobing. One thing to mention about the strobe, by the way, is this has 13 cycles per second in their strobe as opposed to 10 like their previous model. So they did up the frequency, which is huge. The frequency of strobe is what really attributes to that blinding. Obviously the lumens, how bright it is, but next up is how fast is that thing strobing. So that's a good update. Anyways, back to this. I just wish that there was like another button, maybe right here or something I could just push and it's just strobe, direct to strobe on. That's for, home defense, critical situations, whatever. In terms of just being a flashlight, you go out camping, you want to see what you're doing in the woods, you're setting up your tent, you're in your house, you want to look for some tools in the garage. Yeah, the light's great. The thing is with it, the turbo mode in this setup is putting out 900 lumens, which I think is fine. I think that's plenty bright to do what you need to do in the garage or whatever. The problem is when you get lower than that, the other settings like this is 60 lumens, I want to say. Hold that down, I get to like 250 and 400 or something like that. The problem with that is this light is just too big for me to use at that setting. If I just need a little bit of light, like the amount of output isn't important to me, I'm just looking in my tool chest to grab a certain tool, I'm gonna use this, which lives in my pocket all day long. That's plenty bright for me to just grab something and go. If I'm gonna carry something this big with me, it's because I'm outdoors, it's because I'm out doing something and I need a high output of light. What I'm getting at here is that 900 is the only output I'm gonna use on this light. I don't think I'm ever even going to mess with this small side button. Number one, it's sort of hard to push down. It's sort of awkward because you kind of have to hold it like this, which is awkward for me. This is much more natural. The switch is easier to hit. The momentary on thing, I don't know that I've ever really got with lights, to be honest. I'm just always an on and off guy. But that's just me. I'm just using this like an everyday Joe. I'm not, running this thing through hard training, through safe houses or in tactical situations, whatever. So, maybe those momentary and strobe things would help there. But in terms of me needing a light around the house, needing a light when I go camping, it's fine. This is all I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it for when I'm outdoors, when I'm doing stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have something little like this on me at all times. So yeah, that's my review of the M2T Warrior by Olight. It's a good light. There's no denying that. It's well built, it's bright, it's strong, it's sturdy. It's a little too heavy to mount to a gun. It's a little too big for everyday carry. So it sort of occupies that middle of the road. It's probably bright enough for me to take out camping and stuff like that. Maybe just keep in a tool chest, keep in the garage, but it's just kind of that middle of the road. I feel bad saying that because it is a good light. But anyways, if you're interested in the Olight M2T Warrior, you dig these kind of lights, that link is down in the video description below. Olight's website is also down there if you want to learn more about the light. It's a good light. Olight's a good brand, man. I'm not down talking them at all. It's just not quite right for me, at least in most situations. So anyways, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that thumbs up button. That helps me out a bunch. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We've got a masterclass coming soon. If you want to pick up a Give Rise hoodie, make sure to do so. And we will see you next time on Green Light Shooting.